So we'll go ahead and create a new report project. Okay, so I'll store it in the C drive. Say OK. So once I'm done, I'll get two folders called shared data sources and reports. Okay, so this is the place where I'll be going to create a data sources. Okay, like OLAP and all those things, TFS warehouse. Okay, and there's a report where I'll be adding customized reports, whatever I want to create. Okay, so first I'll add data sources. So I'll just right click on share data source, add new data source. Okay, so first I'll select the SQL only. So I'll first add TFS reports DS. Yeah, so these are already like these are things which are available like TFS OLAP report DS and TFS report DS in our report SQL report server. So I can create with the other name also, but I have to again give it. Okay, go and edit. So here I'll choose a SQL server name. So there are two basically there are two databases. One is TFS warehouse and another is TFS analysis _analysis. So I'm selecting TFS warehouse. So it contains like a raw data, so where we can go and query and get the results. Say test connection. Say OK. So you can see the connection string is done. Then I will add one more data source. Keep the name as TFS OLAP report DS. Here I will select the analysis service, Microsoft SQL Server analysis service, which contains OLAP cubes. So I'll give the server name here. So this is the server name, and you can see the database TFS_analysis. So once I added data sources, then I will go and create reports. So to create a report, just right click and say add a report, or you can say add new item. So if you say add a report, you will get a wizard. You can go through the wizard and get the reports, or you can say add a new item, select a report, give it a name. Maybe I'll just give demo. So once you create a report, you'll get three components. One is report data, one is design, and the other is preview. Okay. So in the report data, you are going to query or get the data. Once it is done, in the designer, you are going to create a graph or a chart or a table. Okay, and you can preview it how it looks. Okay. Nice. So I'll just say new data set. Okay, so here you can give any name. Then in the data source, so I have two options. I can go for TFS_warehouse or TFS_analysis. Okay, so based on my requirement or what I want to do, I will select that. So you can see here this option, use shared data source references. It's already created, I'll use that. So I'll select TFS OLAP reports. It's easy for me to create reports in this, since already ready-made data will come, like in terms of cubes and dimensions. Otherwise, if it is a TFS report database, I mean the TFS underscore warehouse, you have to query it. Okay, so I'll say okay for this. Then in the query designer, so I'll just click on this query designer, and by default it shows build. Okay, so it contains all the measures and the cubes. These are the cubes, you can see. These have different, again, members and other things like build platform, you can see. Okay, so this is pertaining to only build. Okay, so when you click on this ellipse button, you'll get many other things. Okay, I will select team system, which contains all the other things, code churn, code coverage, everything it contains, team system. Or you can go for individual. If you are looking for an individual report, right, I want to create a report only for work items, maybe like a remaining work item or trend or something like that, I'll go for only for that work item queue. Or I want to see only for code churn, I want to create a report based on code churn or number of lines or number of lines added or modified, like that I'll go for code churn, or like that code coverage and build and all those things. Okay, so I'll go for team system now, which gives all the measures, all the cubes. So basically measures are like, which gives us data. Okay, for example, if you go for code churn, so code churn count, if just drag and drop on the, then it will give what is the code churn count. Okay, or number of lines added, number of lines deleted. So just it gives total sum. Okay, now based on this, if you go to the cube, right, we can make it like, okay, this code churn is for like, whom, and we can relate it with build and all those things. Then we'll get, okay, for this particular build, how many code, what are the code churn, how many lines were added, how many lines were deleted from one build to another build. Okay, so we can just clear the grid. So like that, for example, work item. So I have to just see like, work item count, total work item. So this just, it gives total number of work items. Okay, now again I can, go for cubes. So you can see there's a work item cube. Okay, so there are different things like, ID, states, title, everything. So for example, if I drag and drop state, right, see, so it gives, so total was 75. Okay, in that active is like 46, closed is 16, like that. Okay, this is one kind of a thing. Okay, or maybe I want to make it by work item type. So that was state, right, how many work items were in active state, closed state. Total 75, but how many were there in active or closed? And here also totally 75, but how many are like bugs, how many are tasks and all those things. Okay, so this is what I want the graph to show, the graph data. Okay, and you can see this. I mean, this is like where I can go and give the filters. Like I want to filter based on projects, I want to filter based on states, something like that. This portion gives that information, and this portion gives what it will show in the report. Okay, so for example, I want to based on the team projects, so I'll just drag and drop the team projects. So I want to filter in one collection. I can have many team projects, right, in 2010. Okay, so one team project, how many work items are there, in what state, everything. The other team projects I can filter it and see, and total for whole collection I can see. Okay, so here you can get the expression, filter expression. You can see there is one demo TP and one tailspin toys. So I'll just select all. And if you want to make it as a filter option in the report, you have to make it as a parameter. You have to check this option. Okay, so like that you can just drag and drop whatever you want based on you want filter, for example, state. Okay, So I can make that. So active, close, so many states are. Your customized states are also come here. You can see this review. It is a customized state, so it is there. Okay, here also you can just filter and see the result also. So I want all the active work items. So you can see it changes. Okay. Also make it as a parameter. So once I am done with this, once I know what to show and what are the filters I want, okay, let's say okay for this. So this is a query it has generated. I just dragged and drop. Okay, so this is all it generated. So it's very easy for me. Otherwise I need to sit and code, write this query. Okay, let's say okay now. So you can see here. So these are the parameters what I selected, and these are the fields I want to show. So now this is the place where I want to show. I want to maybe in a tabular form or a chat or something like that. So I can just right click and say what I want. I want a table or I want a chart. So if it is chart types, there are different types of charts like columns or lines, bar graph, pie chart, everything is there. Even there are many other things which might be useful, like there is something called as gauges. Okay, I also don't know about this, but this can be useful in, I think, in TFS warehouse or getting the status of your TFS, something like that. Okay, so we'll go for first table. Okay, so you can see here. So here I want to show first is work item type and work item count. Okay, and just delete this column. So I can just preview it. So it gives the option. So you can see here, based on the filters I can go for, like I can go for tailspin toys. I want to see only tailspin toys information changes. So this is one thing. Okay, so this is a simple report. Okay, so I can just save this. Okay, so let me go to that location. Okay, just copied that report here. Let's say demo 1. Okay. So you see how to have a chart instead of a table. I want to have a chart. Okay, so the chart. So first we'll have just a column, and you can see here. So it's like all about designing. Okay. Okay, and it gives what you want. Drop category fields here, drop series fields, and data fields what you want to show. So I'll drop, I want to show work items, so I can see here. Okay, and then work items, different types. Okay, then I'll just do a preview, so I can see here how many work items are there. Task. Okay, it shows this is like state, type of work item and how many number. So again I can filter, there are options, so I can choose which all the work items, whether it may be bug, task or use case or user story, whatever, which are in active state I want. you get a different result. So this is like black, it's not black actually, it's red here. Okay, so black is user story, yellow is task, and light blue is bug, you can see. So this is how like chart representation. So earlier we saw like a tabular format, now we are seeing chart. So they are like very nice, this thing. I'll just change the chart type. So we can go for this. It gives, so you can see in a different format. Or something like, we can make it as a horizontal lines also. So you can see here. So one line, in that sections, how many tasks or how many bugs are there, how many use case or whatever, like, and total count. So you can decide what you want. There are many things. So once it's done, just save it. Okay, so you can go to this location where you have created, and this is the RDL file report. Okay, so we are done with creating a report, and this is what report we want. Now what we want to do is, we want to upload this report, publish this report to our team project, so that all the team members can see that. Okay, so I'll go to the location of that project. It is demo report. So this is a report. Okay, so now I'll go to the report manager. I made a shortcut here. I just go to that report manager. So since I made it as a collection level, okay, I can have it here. I can upload it anywhere, actually, reports. Okay, so I'll just upload a report here. You can see many other reports are there. So I'll just go on, click upload file, browse, and select. So I'll go to that location, my demo report project. So this is a demo, right? RDL file. I'll select. You can see the name also. Say OK. So it's very simple to upload a report once you are done. So I'll just go to that. It will say it can't, cannot process the report since it doesn't contain the data source information. Okay, I'll go to properties. So you can see when you go to properties, all these information are there. Security, you can give access to the team members at the report level, individual report level. Okay, so I'll go to the data source properties. So TFS, it says the shared data is no longer valid. I'll go and refer it. Say apply. You can see here I have made one more data source. Okay, say apply. So once it is done, you can see that. So I can go and filter and see the result. You want to see all the work, all the active work items. So user story task bug. I want to see only for tailspin toys. Try export. Yes, I want to see only for demo project, demo TPs. This is a second project, team project. Okay, so these are the different options you can export. You can export to a Word, Excel, PDF file. So maybe we'll export it to PDF. Okay, or we'll just include full report. So we'll export to a PDF. Just close this. Save it. So I've saved it. Yeah. See it in the PDF. So there was one more report. So if you get in the PDF, you can just mail it to your stakeholders or customers. Okay. So we have created one more report. I'm just going to upload that also. So it was in the desktop only. Demo 1. Same thing again, I have to go to the data source property and associate it. Say apply. Once it is done, you can view that. So this is the tabular format. So once we get the data, we can make it, in chart or tabular, whatever way we want to show. We can design it, and there are many ways design. You can write comments, you can give links and all those things. You can give links to the next report or other related reports, or even you can give a link. Say what this report says, what this report gives information.
When you constructed the table, we noticed that it had a header and a footer.
Yes.
Now, possible that if I am looking at this report in future, I am not sure when I generated it, if it is a PDF file. Can I see a footer saying that report last generated on so and so, provided I have designed such a footer?
Last generated means last processed, something like that?
Yes.
There's an option.
There's an option.
Yeah. There's a cube or a measure somewhere, it is there, last processed. You can just drag and drop, it will give in the report only. It will give information. This was processed at this time and date. In many other reports it is there. Okay. So this was about the reports. How to create a new report, RDL reports, and how to add or upload. Okay. So same way you can see different other reports which we have developed earlier. There's something called as work item count, which is similar. Okay. Then there's something called as, like you can see, assigned team members, how many work items are assigned and what are its states. And again you can have all those things, work item types, filters. These are everything is at the collection level. And this is a different kind of a chart. Same thing, but it's a different view. So you can see individual members and their tasks, which are in different states. And there's something called as code analysis. So you want to get, whenever you do a build, what was, any errors or warnings pertaining to static code analysis. So you can give a list. And code coverage. So you can see, you have applications in your team project and do a build, how much is covered, how much is not covered, and for every individual build. So these are the build numbers, build IDs. Okay, so you can see this date and timestamp is there. So this is the latest build. You can see it's increasing. Earlier it was 4, now 7, now 11.
The second page.
Yeah. So some more information. I mean, it was not.
It didn't bring in the column headers, is it?
Yeah, no. So you can see there was some other exe, it gives that information also, like how many exes are there, different chart. And you can filter it by build names. So many builds are happened, it gives all the information. Even by project. So these were different reports created by us. Okay, and there's something called as TFS scorecard. I was talking about that. So you can see that. So it gives the usability of the TFS. Like how many team members are accessing, through what all clients they are accessing. So this is a general report. It is developed by some other company. So you can see here number of team projects, number of work item tracking users who have created or modified, added work items, version control users who are checking in, checkout, those things. So work item versions, total number of check-ins happened. So overall adoption, how much we are using it, and code coverage, everything information is there. So this is overall, and if I go to work item, so it gives in the month wise also how much we have used, how much we have created. So users, total number of work items, you can see there also it gives 75, right, total number of work items. And if any attachments were there, that also information gives. Number of work item queries we have. So we have modified version work items, right, will assign, will change the state. So all those versions are there. Okay, then there's a version control. Again it gives number of users who are using the version control facility, and number of files in the version control, total number of check-ins, so many things, number of folders. And this is the usage, number of users checking code over time. And same way activity logging. And you can see here, like the tools, client tools used. So it may be sometimes it may be some other tools like Visual Studio 2008 or 2005. It gives all those informations. And others means we might be using Excel, we might be using sometimes a TFS admin console. So all those are made as others. And client tools, you can see here. So how many users have accessed, number of requests, other tools, TFS admin, administrator tool, TFS build service, MS build, so many things.
How have they constructed this scorecard? Is it like an RDL file again?
It's an RDL file. We have the code also.
Do we have navigation in the RDL file to
Yes.
span across pages here?
So individual user wise. In that again, that user might have connected through different tools also, client tools. He might have run the build, he might have seen the dashboard, he might have used Excel. And this is Visual Studio. Use all the version, everything, and with SP1. Likewise for other users. This will be very useful, want to see like we have got the tool and how much we are using it. Okay. Okay. So this was all about the reports. Now we'll see about the TFS admin tool, how to give permissions using that. Before that, I'll just show you some other reports. So this is for the particular team, like it'll say team project. So this is a Tailspin Toys team project, and you can see reports like builds, so whenever you do a build, code churn, code coverage, whether the build passed, failed, how many tests were there, and what is the percentage of test pass, failed. So all those information is available here. So you can see These are the number of builds happened, their status, whether it is succeeded or partially succeeded or failed. Okay, and these are the test run, test passed, so 100% or 75% passed, and code coverage. You can see here it's increasing, and code churn also. And you can see this build quality indicators. So actually this is pink, and you can see this has failed, and all the other things are passed. Just change the date. And you can see here. So earlier I just written one test, started the build. Okay. Then I'm slowly adding more tests. So I added one more test, and you can see it says number now I'm running 2 tests. So these are the individual builds done. Okay, we had this in our presentation, in our slide. Okay, and you can see here the code churn. This is the code churn. So you can see it increased first because first time I'm writing whole code and I'm checking in. Then I slowly add one method or 2-3 lines. So it is decreased here. You can see for the next build it is very less because I have not done anything. I just run the build. Okay, then I did something because I added one more test, so it says code churn. Okay, then next time again I'm just running a build. I'm not done any changes. Same way, the code coverage, you can see it is increasing. As I write more tests and it is passing, it's increasing code coverage. Okay, so there are no any bugs done. Then build success over time.
Better you sit there. Every time you have to go.
So okay, this shows the build success over time, how full overtime, you can see per day, and the status whether it is passed, failed. So this is not looking nice. Less data is there. And if you go to other reports, like for project management, 70 stories overview. So we say about user stories and all those things, right? So you can see here, so there's a complete picture. User story, how much work is completed in percentage hours. Okay, how much hours is remaining, number of test cases, test results, number of bugs, and what state it is, and what states are the test. And if it is completed, you can see 100% completed it is. So all the tasks are completed for that user story. And here you can see some are 50% and some is 86. And stories progress. It's the same almost, but it only gives about the user stories. It doesn't give about tests and bugs. This is like planned and how much we have progressed. Actually, there is a light blue actually here color. And you can see status on all iterations. So if I have so many iterations, right, I can see how my iteration is progressing. So this is like 37 is planned. Okay, how much I progressed? 33 I have completed. Still 4 hours is remaining. And if any bugs, like that. Burn down and burn rate. So these are all default reports. Okay, it gives the progress of the work, and individual developers or team members who are assigned work and how much they have completed, how much is still remaining. You can see all our team members.
Let's see them.
I mean, these are all developers. So then remaining work. So hours remaining and hours completed. Here are many filters are there. I want to see only about the iteration 3 because that is in progress now. You can see that. And you can see unplanned work because first I have done my planning and later on I am adding some more work. So you can see that. So this also we can. You can see. So earlier it is planned 11, then I added 5 more. So like this there are many reports. Okay. So this was all about reports. Now we'll see an admin tool which will help us, assign permissions. Okay, so usually what we do is if you want to add a user, we'll go to first Visual Studio or Team Explorer, open team project, add that user to a particular group and give a permissions, because that group has already a permission, then he will have the same permissions. Okay, if I am creating a new group, okay, and I want to add a user to that group, so you can add it, but this is only at the TFS level. You can just connect to a team project and you can have access to the source control if the group is added to the source control. He will not be able to access reports and portal SharePoint. So we have to go to that report side, add that user. Same we have to go to the portal, add that user. So it takes much time. So this is a tool which will reduce that effort. It's called TFS administrative tool. So just connect to the TFS and particular team project. We'll connect to one team project. So once I connect, right, it will give me all the information. If already users are there, so you can see these are the users, their display name, in the TFS what is the role, to which group they belong, like they belong to tester group or development group, or they are project administrators or builders or testers, and in SharePoint, in portal, what roles they have, like they are contributors or they have full control or they are just they have that browsing permission, and in report same way. Okay, and I can edit also. In this user I want to edit, I want to change the permission, so I can just double click and edit it. So this user, particular Mahesh, he belongs to tester group, he has a contributor permission in SharePoint and browser, so I can change the permission here. I can say he might be a report builder. So I can see the changes. It will delete that permission, old permission, and it will add the new permission. So I can just go and say commit changes. So the permissions will be done. Now you can see it's changed. It's a report builder now. So same way I can add a new user. So here's the option new, add user. Browse and get from the Active Directory. Okay, if any user, like, okay, I'll add this. So now I can select. So it contains the default groups and whatever new groups I create. So it contains all those groups also here. So this is I created custom group, dev, tester. Okay. So if I select a contributor like default groups, it gives by default all the permission, all the specific this thing TFS, SharePoint and reporting. If I just click on contributors, it select contributors in SharePoint and browser in reporting service. Okay, for custom it doesn't give, we have to give it. If I say project administrator, full control in SharePoint, and he's a TFS content manager, Team Foundation content manager. Same way for readers. So this makes life easy actually for the admin guys. So they can just add a user at one shot. They can give permission at the 3 levels, 3 different places. And once they hit OK and commit, so the permissions will be done. And since these groups will have security permissions at the TFS level already done, because we create a group and add the security roles, what permissions they have. So it's very easy, just add this user to the group and give the permissions at the SharePoint and the report. So I'll add it as a contributor. Say OK. Chris Berry. And you can say commit. So you can see it is added to the SharePoint, TFS and reporting service. So it's adding here. You can see below. It's done. See, the user is there. And here you can differentiate. These are the groups actually, demo users. It contains multiple users. And these are single users. Because you can add Windows groups also here. Okay. So this is the TFS admin tool. You can delete the user also. If you don't want, you can just go and delete the user. If you want to remove that user, you can go and delete. Okay. Then coming to the planning, I want to plan for a iteration, particular iteration, and have my team and all the team members are there. I want to plan for 1 week or 2 weeks. Okay, and have the information like how many hours of they'll be working in a day and all those information, and have the task or the user stories to be completed at the end of this iteration. I want to deliver these many features or user stories at the end of the iteration. So I can plan using Excel workbook. Okay, so I'll just show you how it is done. Okay, so this is how it looks. So there's a user story. That user story is broken down into tasks, and individual tasks are assigned to developers, testers. Okay, and how much work they have, this is the remaining work, and if they are completed, how much work they have completed. Okay, this is just gives the information about the user stories and the task and how much work is there. Okay, then comes a setting where I can set the iteration duration from this day to next 1 week or 15 days. Okay, then any interruptions, there may be some national holidays, or some of them my team members might take holidays, leave and all those things. I can set everything, plan everything beforehand, so that I have a complete picture. Then capacity. So since I know my team members how many hours they'll be working per day, so based on that I can see how much what is the capacity and how much work they are assigned. So based on that I will get whether they are utilized properly, okay, or overutilized or underutilized. So once I give all this information, I will get a nice chart which gives, you can see here, these are these are perfect. Okay, and this guy is still remaining, and this guy is overutilized, and this guy is underutilized. Okay, so based on that again I can go and change the assignment. So if I assign some more, I can just replace that user into some other user and say okay, instead of Doris, some other user will do the task. So once I have done here, I'll get an overall team capacity. So what is the work for that iteration, and what is the team capacity for that iteration. If it is overutilized or underutilized, I'll get that information also, and how it is progressing. Okay, once this is done and start, once the iteration begins, okay, we can get the burn down. What is the progress? And this is a trend, black line, and how the work begins, how the work completes. So this is almost done. Today was the end date. Okay, so you can see that. This is just for your information. You may not understand this. Okay, and there's one more third-party tool which I want to show it. So this gives the information, like, it's kind of a dashboard which will give like how the build is progressing, how the iteration is progressing, what are the team members, who are the team members, and how much work is assigned to them, and what is their progress, and if build is happening, what is the code coverage, what are the recent check-ins happened, what are the recent team activities, like someone has created a work item, or someone has created a bug, or someone has modified the state, changed, like he has completed the work. So all those information at one shot, in one screen, I can get. So this will be very helpful for maybe project managers or higher level like delivery heads. They can just see this chart and get to know all the information. There is no need to separately prepare documents for this. This color is not looking nice there. Here it looks nice. So this is for a particular iteration. So you can see this is iteration 3. This is remaining work trend, and this is team velocity, and all the users and their work, how much it is completed. Okay, and these are the recent check-ins, and these are the builds and code coverage. You can see it is increased here. Earlier it was 2, 4, and now it is 7. And if any bugs are created, what is the bug history? And here you can see current activities and builds. How many builds have happened? Any failed builds, partially succeeded, or succeeded builds, and who has broken the build? Last person to break the build, and individual persons, their assigned tasks.
Sir, how will you do all these?
Sorry.
From TFS you have to do it.
Yes, it has fetched all the data from the TFS. So it's like a WPF application. Okay, they have done. So it is fetching all the reports, all the data. So it has a setting, user interface where I can go and configure. So like right from things. So it gets all the information from the TFS_analysis. Okay, all the team members, images, I can have it. Then activity board, what to include. Okay, then bug history, build break, build history, like show 10 build histories, code chain for which build. So they might be you might be having many build definitions. So all the build definitions are there, but I want code chain on which build definition. I can add 2 also. I can add both. Then code coverage, for which build I want code coverage. So many things are there. So I can just save it. So I can add one more project also. So I can start adding one more project here. Okay, right now I will not add. Oh, it's already added. You can see here. I can configure it, or I'll just delete this. Okay, save it. So it again refreshes. So this is just one example how so in the market there are many third-party tools which makes life easy other than what TFS provides. Okay. Anything else remaining? Okay, only one thing. So open Visual Studio. So here I'm going to show how to visualize the whole TFS membership. You have groups, you have particular users added to particular groups. So you have to just visualize it. So there is a tool available. Using that you can visualize. If you go to the tools, generate graph dependency for TFS group membership. So I'll select a team project, tailspin toys, say generate. So here some are free tools, some are paid tools, like you have to buy.
This generic tool, sir.
No, this is free. So you can see all the groups here. So contributor group, administrator, builders, developers, testers, and users, all the users. So I have to just check Mahesh to which group he belongs. So you can see these lines, it indicates, okay, he belongs to tester. Okay, if some user is belonging to 2 or 3 groups, we can easily detect here. So he belongs to developer, he also belongs to developer, so he belongs to project administrator. So you can see this Abu, so he belongs to TFS administrator. He is a TFS administrator, he is a team project administrator, even he belongs to team foundation service accounts. So you can see he belongs to so many groups. And you can arrange it in different way also. Like this you can arrange. There are so many different ways to arrange. Whether we will get matrix. What it gives. Okay, it has grouped developer, testers. So you can see this is a tester group, all the testers, contributors. So it is pointing.
Yeah,